What is up, Relax back here. I want to talk about the Canucks management, spanning back from the times that we were dominant, spanning back from 2010 to 2011, and why Jim Benning is on our side. Let's take a look at the Canucks in 2011. I know a lot of Canucks fans love to do this, but I want to do this in this video for a little bit of a comparison. Taking a look at the Canucks 2010-2011 team, we had 5 players at or above 50 points. We had Nicklas Jensen, the Art Ross winner, he had 104 points. Henrik Sedin was 10 points behind him at 94. Ryan Kesler, the second-line center, was at 73 points. He had 41 goals. Michael Samuelsson was at 50 points, and Christian Ehrhoff was also at 50 points. Definitely an elite defenseman at the time, getting a lot of points and assists, helping out the team greatly. We also had Alex Burrows, he was at 48. Now, this season, and maybe the 2 or 3 previous seasons, they were seen as the time when the Canucks were really up on their game. These were the Canucks teams that were put together not really by drafting, but by trading. Mike Gillis was kind of a genius in building the best Canucks team ever. I say that, ever. Take a look at the 82 team. That team was kind of a fluke in getting to the finals. And the 94 team, well, I wish they would have won, but they ended up not. I'm pretty sure that any Canucks fan would either put the 94 team or the 2010-2011 team as the best Canucks team of all time. I would pick the 2011 team. But taking a look at this team, Daniel Henrik Sedin, Ryan Kesler, Samuelsson, Ehrhoff, Burrows, these guys all getting a lot of points. Compare it to the season that we just had previously. Bo Horvat and Henrik Sedin, 2 players, the only 2 players that the Canucks had at or above 50. Horvat had 52, Henrik had 50, Daniel Sedin was down to 44, and everyone else was mid-30s or below. That's not a jab, that's not saying, the Canucks, they suck now. No, well, they're performing poorly now. And we finished, 3rd last in the league for a reason? And it's not because, it's because the team is not. I'm not saying that the Canucks need to be a good team right now. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the complete opposite. And I'm saying that it's good that the Canucks are growing through this again. Because back in 2010-2011, everyone was basically in their prime. And what happened after the 2013 playoffs, where the Canucks got swept by San Jose, everyone was pissed off. Everyone was upset that coming off of a lockout-shortened season, the Canucks come into the playoffs, they lose 4 in a row. That makes it 5 straight playoff losses and 3 straight playoff series losses for the Canucks at the time. And everyone was pissed off. And Mike Gillis was like, yeah, nope, we got the solution. We'll just go at it again next year. Let's fire Alain Vigneault, hire John Tortorella, and we're going to be back in it. Because we still got our good players. We got Luongo. We got ourselves Henrik and Daniel. We didn't get rid of Eddie Lack, but we got rid of Corey Schneider, so we got that 1-2, Luongo and Lack. These guys are our guys, and we got our good players still. And what happens? They end up finishing pretty poorly and end up drafting 6th overall. I remember the game that they played against Anaheim at Rogers Arena, where if they lost, they were out of the playoffs. And it was 3-0 Anaheim with like a few minutes left in the 3rd period or something. Pretty sure it was 3-0, I'm not too sure, but pretty sure. Fans started chanting, fire Gillis, fire Gillis, fire Gillis, clap, 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 clap. And he gets fired the next day. So, that was interesting. Mike Gillis gets fired. Linden is now the president. We get this new guy, Jim Benning, in. John Tortorella gets fired shortly after. And it's at this point that the Canucks really do change. And I know they had a good playoff run in 2015. I mean, it wasn't really good, but they made the playoffs, at least. And Jim Benning was on our side from the beginning. And I'm pretty sure of that. It's just that the owners kind of did latch onto that mentality that, yeah, no, we can still get 2 guys at 90 points. We can still get 5 guys at or above 50 points. But it's lucky for us that they've stepped down from that. Taking a look at all the picks that the Canucks have used, and the Canucks have traded away, taking a look at all the trades that the Canucks have made ever since Jim Benning stepped in, look at the players that we've gotten. We've gotten Derek Dorsett, who, I guess, he's making an impact on the team, but he's injured. We got Lucas Pisa, he's sometimes reliable. Nick Bonino was traded for Sutter, we still got that right now. Lindenvey is gone, Will Acton is gone, Padan might be gone sooner or later, Clendenning is gone as well. Berchi is probably one of the best players that we've traded for in the past few years. Eddie Lack is gone, but that was for a few picks. That was alright. Then after that, it really just turns into the Canucks trading players and picks. That's basically it, but it's not really older players, you know? We're getting some younger guys. Aside from Brandon Prost and Brandon Sutter, all of the guys that we've been getting are guys that could help us in the future for sure. And all the assets that we've been trading away, for the most part, were either prospects who did not turn out to do so well, or some older guys who actually provide good value for teams. Nicklas Jensen signed a Jokerit contract in the KHL. He's not in North America anymore. Dane Fox, what's going on with him? I have no idea. Hunter Shinkaruk played like a game or two in the NHL, but I hear he's going to start with whatever Calgary's farm team is, Stockton I think, next season. It just proves to show that Jim Benning is starting to make even better decisions. I know there are some decisions that people were kind of ticked off about. There was the Louis Eriksson 6x6. That, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to go on with that. Probably the only lose-lose trade that the Canucks have been a part of recently was that Cassian and a fifth for Brandon Prost deal, as both players kind of did not turn out well for either of the teams they got traded to. I mean, Cassian's doing good in Edmonton now, but really, what did that benefit Montreal for? Take a look at Eric Goodbranson and a pick for Jared McCann and 2 picks. That was probably another poorly made deal. If we could have gotten rid of that 4th in the trade and kept it ourselves, I think that would have been alright. Goodbranson for McCann straight up, I would be okay with that, as McCann isn't really doing too well either. But, you know, in hindsight, taking a look at these trades and looking at them now, it's kind of like, oh, well, Goodbranson and a 5th for McCann, a 2nd and a 4th, If you think of McCann as not really making an impact, then it's just a 2nd and a 4th for Goodbranson and a 5th. That's okay. But really, if you take a look at everything, take a look at the big picture, not just the trades that Benning has made, but also the players that he's drafted with these picks, he's definitely on our side. From the moment that he stepped into the organization, Jim Benning was a good scout. He's been a scout for a long time. He was with the Bruins as a scout over there. He comes over as the general manager of the Canucks, and at first people are doubting his trading ability. Oh, he's trading for players that won't make that much of a difference. He's trading for players for equal players. He's not really doing that well in the trading aspect. But then comes the draft, and this is where this guy shines. Take a look at the Canucks drafted players recently. Take a look, sorting them by points. Petrus Palmu of the Owen Sound attacked 98 points in 62 games. Cole Lind is a good one, 87 points in 70 games with the Kelowna Rockets. Jonah Gadjevich, Palmu's line mate, 74 points in 60 games. A lot of these players that the Canucks have drafted have turned out to be some pretty good players where they're coming from, and a lot of them have good potential. And that's kind of the good thing. Because if you take a look at the Gillis draft era, oh my goodness. Taking a look at the Gillis draft era and all the players that the Canucks have drafted under Mike Gillis, it's kinda scary because, like, it's just incredible how back when Jim Benning traded Marcus Granlund for Hunter Shinkaruk, everyone was freaking out. Because, oh no, Hunter Shinkaruk is going to be a good player, he's one of our best prospects, and now we got traded for Granlund's younger brother? Or older brother? I don't know their relationship, but really? You see the point here? I remember the reactions back then. I remember everyone saying that, oh, the Canucks got fleeced, a 1-for-1 deal, Granlund for Shinkaruk, what the heck, Calgary, you're so lucky. But that kind of puts into perspective just how bad the Canucks prospect system was. Hunter Shinkaruk's played, 15 games in the NHL? And he has how many points? 4? Taking a look at everything the Canucks have had right now under Gillis, it was not a good prospect pool. I mean, our best prospects were Jordan Schrader, Nicklas Jensen, Brendan Gaunce, who, admittedly, he's doing alright, Ben Hutton, who, hey, I called it, man, he's a good player now. But Bo Horvat was kind of like the best pick that we've gotten from Mike Gillis, and he was kind of like a saving grace kind of pick because, you know, we got him from the Corey Schneider trade. Hunter Shinkaruk is kind of a symbol, in a sense, because you see his success now in Calgary, if he even has success. He's only played 15 games. He's probably going to start in the A next season. And we were all flipping out over this guy. We were flipping out because this guy was one of our best prospects. Now, if we had a guy like Shinkaruk, we traded him for a guy like Granlund, that's cool. We get another center. But it kind of does put into perspective just how good our own draft system is now. Benning's an amazing drafter. Looking at this previous draft period, Elias Peterson, 5th overall, you can't go wrong with this guy. Patrick Kane, Swedish kind of player. Cole Lind was supposed to go in the first round, but Benning snagged him up at 33rd. Gadjevich is a strong player. DiPietro's another goalie. He's going to challenge Demko for that starting spot. Jack Rathbone is a player in the USA who's been getting a lot of points as a defender throughout several leagues and teams. We also got ourselves guys like Gunnarsson, Petrus Palmu, and Matt Brassard. Even the class last year, Yolivi, Lockwood, Candela, Stukala, Bowles, and McKenzie. Olli Olivi is probably going to either challenge for Utica or the Canucks next season. William Lockwood is another solid player that they picked up in the 3rd round. Some guy from the NCAA. The same can be said for Adam Gaudette, a center who actually has so much potential. I'm so happy for him. But really, taking a look at everything that Benning has to offer, he's on our side now. Look at the trades that we were just introduced to. Hansen and Burrows for Dahlin and Godolbin. A1 trades. Fantastic. Using the youth and using all the old guys that we got to get more youth. That's great. It's great what Jim Benning is doing now, and I'm looking forward to this next Canucks season. Not because we're going to be good. Not because these signings that he made, these fantastic signings that I already made a video about. Not because these signings are going to be game-changing. But because Jim Benning knows the path that the Canucks have to take to get to the point where we have 100-point guys again. To get to the point where we have 5 guys over and at 50 points, like it was 6 years ago. Jim Benning is a good GM, and it's so nice to have him and the management on our side. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Possibly, so not sure, like, and gaming, and bye.